Tonight, Dominicans go to the polls. A call for term limits to be enshrined in the Constitution of Caribbean countries. And police weigh in on the case of a homeowner who effected a citizen's arrest. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Friday, the 6th of December 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow Channel 117, also being simulcast on KISS FM. You can watch via our website. It's www.caribbeanhottv.com or on our free Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Despite the sometimes violent protests that overshadowed campaigning for the Dominican elections, citizens of the Commonwealth took to the polls in what was an incident-free election day by all accounts.
I think it's very unfortunate that the opposition is fighting this election not by the ballot, but inciting violence and encouraging disruption of the peace here in Dominica. And I think it's very distasteful, and I strictly condone that. I've spoken about it up until my last meeting a couple of days ago. I spoke about the way that they disrespected the bishop, and nobody on their side has said anything about it. And it's just very unfortunate and sad that we are going through this at this time.
Dominicans are voting in general elections, with early reports indicating that so far it has largely been an incident-free poll. There have been no reports of any hiccups, with encouraging lines in most places, even though by the time the polls opened at 7 a.m. there were some showers. But by mid-morning the weather had largely cleared. There were no reports of any blocked roads in the two troubled areas, the opposition strongholds of Marigot and Salisbury. Among those voting in the capital early Wednesday was opposition leader Lennox Linton, who, though contesting the safe rural seat of Marigot, votes in the Roseau North constituency where he lives. He spoke to reporters after voting.
Turnout favors us. The fact that people are turning out is great. We're going to get some showers of blessings, it looks like, the early part of the morning. So, yeah, this is the day. Voting day, Dominica. Voting day when the people of Dominica will make a decision for real change in the problem of Dominica. It's looking good.
Both parties have reported encouraging signs in the early voting. Dominica will face a tense 12 to 18 hours as they vote throughout the day. The polls, which opened at 7 a.m., are scheduled to close at 5 p.m., and it is widely expected that the results could be known before midnight. The key to the results of the poll could be how both parties do in 4 constituencies in the east: Castle Bruce, La Plaine, Grand Fort, and Salabia, and in 3 of the 4 constituencies in the Roseau urban areas. The DLP are defending all 4 constituencies in the east, while the UWP is traditionally stronger in Roseau. Roseau Valley, Roseau Central, and Roseau South are considered among areas that are too close to call. The DLP is expected to dominate most of the northern areas as well as the southern constituencies, with UWP stronger in the middle of the country. I am Wendy Chateau with this Carib Update News Report.
Now, since Thursday, social media has been abuzz with speculation regarding aircrafts that landed at the Uanora International Airport. Reports are that over 200 individuals came to St. Lucia via aircraft call sign EAL200, registration number N700KW. Speculation has been rife that these individuals were shuttled to Dominica on a smaller Air Antilles aircraft. The declared purpose of the flight was unclear. Attempts to obtain an official statement from the St. Lucia Air and Seaports Authority, SLASPA, and the manager of airports on the matter proved unsuccessful. Civil Aviation Minister Guy Joseph only confirmed that the matter is being looked into by the government. Friday afternoon, the larger charter aircraft was still on the airport, along with 2 other aircrafts. The United Workers' Party has issued a statement following damning allegations by SLP First Deputy Leader Dr. Ernest Hilaire. It reads, quote, "It is alarming to the United Workers' Party that on the eve of an election in Dominica, the ruling party would allow the questionable St. Lucia Labour Party MP Dr. Ernest Hilaire to speak on their platform and tarnish the name of his own country." Dr. Hilaire accused St. Lucians of planning what is taking place in Dominica. The United Workers' Party calls on Dr. Hilaire to retract his statement and apologize to the people of St. Lucia. How dare Dr. Hilaire, in his bid to support his friend by any means necessary, attack and hurt the reputation of his own country? This is a glaring reminder of the flawed character of Dr. Hilaire and his callous, uncouth, and illogical attempt at political expediency at the cost of St. Lucians. The statement went on further to say, does the SLP stand by these reckless statements made by their deputy political leader, Dr. Hilaire? That was a statement from the United Workers' Party here in St. Lucia. In other news, the issue of term limits has been a hot topic in regional politics for years, but has come to the fore given the situation in Dominica, with Roosevelt Skerrit eyeing a 20-year stint in government. One former government technocrat in St. Lucia says it's an indictment on Caribbean politics that a select few hold on to the reins of political power within the two-party system. He is all for establishing term limits in the Constitution. He says the Founding Fathers got it right in the U.S. Constitution.
There is something about the fathers of that Constitution, who meant to a large extent are French philosophers, who understood the psyche of the human mind, how we behave, how human beings behave, and how they react. And they limited the term of the leader to a 2-year term. There's a reason for that. And I think it has to do with the understanding that as human beings, one, we get tired naturally, and we tend to become, like everything else, a law unto ourselves. The arrogance steeps, and we think that the power that we have to make decisions about things, and especially if we're making right decisions, repeatedly, it makes us believe that we alone have those answers. And it's a normal human weakness that any human being, but we all have. And therefore, to guard us against that tendency, which can work to your own downfall, you enshrine it in your Constitution that you only give a term limit.
Closel says the counter-argument that the people should decide does not hold because there are little opportunities for new leaders to emerge in the current two-party systems, since most parties have nothing in their constitutions that speak to term limits.
The reality is that the constitutions of the existing political parties do not provide that flexibility to allow for new people to emerge. So there needs to be reform even within the constitution of the political parties. Exactly, but that allows new people to emerge, that there can be a successor program. I refuse to believe that only one person is brilliant enough, is smart enough to run a country for 30 years or for 15 years. I'm not sure. That is an indictment on us as a people and our abilities to lead.
Closel is adamant that one person occupying the seat of leadership in any party for years upon years is just not good for democracy.
People should be given an opportunity, and it should be enshrined within the constitution of your two-party system as well, of your political parties, that facilitates the movement of people within the party. So there's not an advantage of the existing political leader to lead the party, that he does not have an undue advantage, that there's flexibility within there that allows leaders within the group to emerge so that they can compete with him at a level playing field. If you can do that, then you can make the argument, let the people decide. But unless you can do that within the party system, I think you need to enshrine it in the Constitution.
That was former Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Sylvester Closel. Superintendent of Police with responsibility for territorial policing, George Nicholas, says the homeowner who subdued and filmed a young burglar in his home acted well within his rights. Nicholas says whilst the perpetrator, who has been charged for burglary, is a minor, he is of the age of criminal responsibility. Rochelle Gonzalez tells us more.
Young man, what is your name?
The Royal St. Lucia Police Force is indirectly responding to the outcry that followed the released videos of a teenage burglar who was apprehended, handcuffed and questioned, all by the homeowner of the house which he attempted to burglarize. The incident occurred in the early hours of Wednesday, the 4th of December, and whilst the viral videos showed the homeowner practicing restraint and questioning the youngster in a calm manner, persons have been up in arms over the incident. On Friday morning, Superintendent of Police with responsibility for territorial policing, George Nicholas, gave the details of the incident.
We received a report of burglary, and as a result, a minor was detained, and this morning he was charged with the offense of burglary, and he should be taken to the district court for a bail hearing. According to the law, because of his age, he is a minor, but at the same time, he is of the age of criminal responsibility. And once you have attained that age, then you will be charged for whatever offense that you committed.
The superintendent went on to address the legalities of the matter, especially on the fact that the perpetrator is a minor and his face and personal details were revealed. He said, where social media is concerned, it is difficult to control the actions of people when they find themselves in certain situations, but he indicated that the homeowner broke no laws.
But what I can say is again, we have very little control as to what people do and don't do when it comes to social media. Again, the individual had the right to detain the individual and call the police, which he did.
In numerous similar cases, the apprehended perpetrators have not been as fortunate as the teenager in this incident. For this, Nicholas commended the homeowner.
We must commend the homeowner in this incident for exercising restraint and good judgment in not harming the minor. And that is the kind of things that we encourage. While the law makes provision for you to defend yourself and defend your property, but it also states that the force that should be used is only reasonable force that is necessary in order for you to overcome your assailant. So we want to commend the person in question for not for exercising restraint in this latest incident.
Going back to the use of social media to broadcast such incidents, Nicholas said it does have its benefits as it helps the police exact justice when needs be. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Thank you, Rochelle. Police are leaving no stone unturned in the city center following a spate of bomb threats targeting the 1st District Court and a number of neighboring schools. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force is taking the proactive step to ensure that school and daily affairs in the city are not interrupted by conducting extensive searches of the hotspots, ensuring that the establishments are safe on the days of High Court proceedings.
Officers of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force are taking heed of the chaos caused by a spate of bomb scares which crippled schools and businesses in the city centre. When the 1st District Court moved to Coral Street, the constant bomb threats, which are usually made on days of High Court hearings, moved along with it, thus causing schools and businesses to be evacuated and causing gridlock in usually busy streets within the city centre. Recently, parents of students of the Ave Maria Girls' School, as well as the teachers of the said school, staged a protest where they marched over to the Ministry of Education demanding the relocation of the courthouse, stating that it posed a danger to the students and staff alike. Well, the RSLPF did pay attention and took steps to ensure that the schools were safe on Thursday, the 5th of December.
And our investigations revealed the existence of a peculiar set of circumstances. And we anticipated yesterday that we were going to have those similar circumstances. So as a result, we took some proactive measures. We spoke to the principals of the schools in question, and we put certain measures in place. So in the event there were to be a bomb scare, we would have been 2 steps ahead of the matter.
Nicholas said the principals of the schools were sufficiently informed on the course of action that the police would have taken on the day. He went on to say that the RSLPF will make extra efforts to keep the situation under control.
But what is important is that our number one priority is public safety. And once we are engaging in activities that would result in the greater good, the public safety, some persons may suffer some minor inconveniences. And as always, we always review our actions, we always go back to the drawing board and see where we can do better in the future. So we will review the actions that we took yesterday and see how best we can minimize the inconvenience anybody may have experienced.
Nicholas said based on the actions that the police took on Thursday, searches were conducted primarily at the RC Boys and Ave Maria Girls Schools and the courthouse. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, smart parking comes to the city of Castries with the mayor's parking meter initiative. The St. Lucia Fire Service is still investigating the fire that gutted the Ajuda building. And meet St. Lucia's latest rising young star in the world of cricket. That and more coming up after the break.